So, kids, you might have heard that in this class you will learn about stress, drugs, and sex. However, more importantly, you are here to learn healthy decision-making skills for a complex and diverse world. This is not just health class. This is human and social development. So, kids, you should have been working on your genderbread person, which is, as I mentioned before, a gingerbread person that could be interpreted as a boy, a girl, or even somewhere in the middle. Thus, I thought the name was a very cute, punny way to sound progressive and with the times. If you will take out your genderbread person, we can share and talk about each other's values. My genderbread person is thinking about getting good grades. My genderbread person is thinking about sleep. My genderbread person is thinking about dismantling the bourgeoisie and seizing the means of production. What is your genderbread person thinking about, Natasha? I am thinking of lots of things. Food, my dog, my lack of sleep. I'm also pondering my internalized teenage girl insecurities. I have an AP Euro test for a chapter I didn't read. At least my parents won't disown me if I keep a C. Some people have it worse than me. I'm also pondering climate change. It's been 6 months since it last rained. I wonder if we'll end society sooner than we think. So, kids, we heard that you are stressed. This is probably because society has conditioned you to believe that these 4 years will define the rest of your life. However, that is too difficult a matter for us to solve. Instead, we have our lovely emotional support bear that you can cuddle whenever you want. Additionally, we will be doing some Les Mills body combat to punch that stress away. Ha! Are you pumped, kids? Okay, kids, how about we do something calmer? Teacher, I think we should do Fortnite dances. Well, Anatole, that's an interesting idea, but I have something else that we're going to do. You kids have probably heard a lot about why drugs are bad. However, Miramonte still has a reputation as a school where lots of people do drugs. So, in this unit, we're going to talk a little bit more about why drugs are bad, accompanied by some notes to explore this topic a little more in depth. We will also act out some scenarios to work on our real-world critical thinking skills about drugs. Hey, Anatole, you want a marijuana joint? It is what the cool kids do these days. No, Ted. Weed has many toxins bad for my developing brain. Hey, Ted, you want a marijuana joint? Sure. So, kids, today we're starting sex ed by watching a video about your changing bodies. Since this can be a touchy and stressful subject, our emotional support bear, Alex, will always be available to cuddle if you feel stressed. Without further ado, please enjoy menstruation.
For me, it all started when I went bowling with Judy today. I should have known something was different as soon as she got a strike. She's usually such a rotten bowler.
I got my first period today.
So, kids, based on the video, what do you think happens to girls when they get on their period? I think they get better at bowling. Ladies, would any of you attest to that? Agatha? Olivia? That was very awkward of you, teacher, to single us out like that. As anxious, introspective teenage girls were quite insecure. If I did want to talk about whether periods make you better at bowling, I wouldn't do it in this class 'cause they're so immature. So we'll just keep this awkward silence. Did you want to say something, Olivia? Not really. So, kids, we realize that you sometimes have sex. As this is a progressive and woke classroom, I will remind you that virginity is a social construct, just like gender. Isn't that cool, kids? If you are going to have sex, you must remember to be safe. This is why we need to teach you about contraception. Do you know what that is? In the past few weeks, I have done a lot of lectures and videos with notes, so I thought it might be cool to demonstrate contraceptives to you a little bit more directly. So, this condom's a bit squishy, and according to Google, it's about 82% effective, but in order to maintain that effectiveness level, you want to make sure that it is tight, so you may have to make some adjustments. But once you make those adjustments, you are good to go! Guys, did you know that Mrs. Johnston's first name is Patricia and she has a 1.2 star rating average on Rate My Teachers?
Oh, really? What did they say?
Well, Oren?
Patricia tries to teach us about sex, but I don't think she ever gets any. She drives a Saturn SUV 15 miles per hour down Moraga Way. Mrs. Johnston has a clear bias toward the liberal agenda. She probably gave me a 75% of my genderbread person because I'm a Republican. There are two genders, you imbecile. She tries to be progressive and woke, but is making a fool of herself. She tackles mental health issues like a bulldozer in a field of landmines, and her talks about gender are a joke.
Hey kids! You ready to learn about birth control pills tomorrow?
As a well-intentioned but misunderstanding middle-aged white woman who thought she was hip with the kids, I thought I could improve these students as people. But they'll never take this class seriously, especially whoever posted about my Saturn SUV, or whoever claimed I graded their effort-deficient genderbread person based on political leanings. And was my hardest trying to be woke, only a joke to the kids. Whatever shall I do?
So, kids, I just learned that half our class is gone for the AP Euro exam. So instead of continuing with our coursework, I thought we could de-stress by playing some board games. Can I take a nap? Why, of course, Foster. Whatever is best for your mental wellness. So, Foster, what did you think of the nap day? Well, I thought it was a very valuable asset to the class curriculum. See, in the stress unit, she taught us a lot about mental wellness and its importance and all that, but we never really had the time to practice what was preached until the nap time. I think it should replace Les Mills' body combat as the interactive portion of the mental wellness unit.
I think we should replace the entire class with nap time.